Like there has to be a what people are failing to realize, and this is where accountability, culture, leadership all takes place is there has to be a point in time when Dak does throw a pick in a crucial moment, same way Pat did. Okay. And I gotta say, yo, don't stress it. I got you. We're gonna get a stop right here. You just need to come back like how I know you can come back.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to take it a step further. Even if it's not, hey, don't worry about it. We got you. Even if sometimes it needs to be, because everyone needs to have some motivation. Everyone needs a hype man at times. Even if it's sometimes somebody needs to be Dak's hype man and be like, hey, bro, get your mind in the game. Let's get it, bro. Be you. Be great. Even if he needs someone to do that sometimes, this team needs people to step up and be vocal leaders. That's something that we haven't been seeing on this team. We haven't been seeing that fire on the sideline of one player trying to get other people together or multiple players trying to help get their position groups together. I'm glad Michael brought that up.
I wasn't able to do that against San Francisco back-to-back years. You weren't able to do that against Green Bay.
Here's a better question. Why are you so passionate about trying to get a guy's teammate to publicly chastise and blame him for the team's failures? I haven't seen y'all sit down with Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, none of these dudes from the Ravens to talk about and blame Lamar Jackson for being, 2-4 now in his time in the playoffs, even though he's a two-time MVP?
Are you kidding me?
San Fran.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, San Fran game, you could say we could have won that game. We held them to 13 or 19 points, something like that. That's great work, right? But Green Bay game, we could have done better.
What? At what point did we see the defense give any fight or the defense put up any type of hold against Green Bay? Nobody, or at any point in that game, did it look like the defense was fighting back against Green Bay. So I don't even know why Stephen A. brought up the Green Bay game. The San Francisco losses are probably some of the only losses that you can look at in the playoffs, and you can look at and specifically blame the offensive deficiencies or the lack of offensive production as to why we lost. And it's fair. Every player is going to have games where they play a large part in why their team loses. We have seen that with literally every player across the league. But what you can't do is look at every single playoff failure for the Cowboys and be like, oh, Dak is the reason why we didn't win. You can't do that. The San Francisco games are literally probably the only games that you can singularly look at and be like, yo, the lack of production in the past game is what led to us losing those games, whether that be on the quarterback, the scheme, the weapons that were available, whatever it be. Yes, I will agree. The 49er games, the defense did their job. Those are probably the only playoff games you can say that about, though.
I felt like when he threw that pick, we should have held them to 3, and we should have got out the field. Okay. But what Dak didn't make D-Law jump off sides on 3rd and 5 on that first goal trip. Dak didn't make Deron Bland do hands in the face, what got him the first down. I think it was 3rd and long. Right. Everything was going to point back to that point when Dak threw the pick, but Dak shouldn't even been to a 7-0 start. That's what people feel like, accountability across the board. Like if we get that stop, right? How we did. If you watch the first 3-4 plays, we were shutting them down. If they punt that ball, and that changed the whole momentum of the game. Changed the whole on 3rd and long, Dak wasn't 3rd and 12 and give up a first down to keep the drive going. Was that Dak Prescott? No. If they punt that ball, it gives up the whole difference of the game. That's why I don't agree that it was just Dak Prescott. I know we could have done things differently defensively.
This is what I'm talking about. Big shout out to Martin Talk Cowboys or at Dak for MVP on X for shining light on a gem of a clip that we got from Micah Parsons when sitting down talking with Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to say this, bro. Thank you, Micah Parsons. By no means do I think that C.D. Lamb, Micah Parsons, Deron Bland, DeMarcus, by no means do I think that any of these guys deserve to take more of the blame for the loss than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott and the rest of these guys all got to share a piece of the pie. And that's been my only point. And I love how Micah stood on business against one of the biggest Dak haters in the entire country. It just amazes me that Stephen A. Smith is on Dak's jock so hard that he's going so far to the point to where he thinks that he's able to smooth talk or he's going to convince a Cowboys player that is a teammate of Dak Prescott to publicly chastise him and admit, oh yeah, we need to place all the blame on our starting quarterback for everything. When the defense gives up 41 points. 41 points the defense gave up. Dak gave up 7 points by way of a pick 6. Like Micah said, they could have held them to 3 points. Like Micah said, we seen quarterback after quarterback in the playoffs after Dak and the Cowboys got unceremoniously tossed. And they all should be ashamed of that loss. All of them. But we seen time after time quarterbacks mess up and have the opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get going. The defense never gave us a chance this year, specifically discussing this year. This year, the defense did not give us a chance to have that opportunity. The Cowboys were in the exact same situation, essentially, as the San Francisco 49ers were against the Green Bay Packers. The only difference was the Packers didn't continue to score in the second half. So it gave the offense a chance to come back and mount that comeback. Because they didn't have to keep scoring. The Cowboys and 49ers scored on the same amount of possessions in the third quarter. The difference was the defense. And I'm glad Micah got specific. And he specifically called out the exact moments that he's talking about. He's not being vague. And if you want to talk football with somebody, you got to sit there and acknowledge that. You got to acknowledge those moments. That team shouldn't have came out and got punched in the mouth immediately and was down 7-0. You shouldn't have had guys dropping hitches. You shouldn't have had guys being inaccurate with some of their throws early on in the drive. Everyone got to share some of the blame. Dak, CD, the defense, DeRon Bland for the hands to the face, DeMarcus Lawrence for jumping off sides. All these guys. All these guys. And my only point of this is not a, oh, Micah defends Dak. No, this ain't that. This is somebody is coming out and being specific and don't care who feelings get hurt. Because now we see a tone starting to be set, bro. This is what we need. This is what we need. We can get mad all we want about these dudes having podcasts and talking and stuff like that. But I'm going to say this. If their podcast and their platform is going to lead to them having accountability on this type of level to where it's like, I'm going to specifically point my guys out. I'm supposed to be the leader. I'm supposed to be developing into a leader. Well, I should be able to point guys out and say, we got to do better right here. We can't get a penalty right here. This is unacceptable. This is on us. If we're supposed to be one of those great defenses like I was talking about us being in the off season, before this season even started, then we can't have this. We have to allow our offense a chance to win the game. Point blank period. We saw Baltimore's defense do it for Lamar Jackson during the playoffs. We seen them do it even against the Chiefs. That defense held that Ravens offense in the game for as long as they could before Patrick Mahomes said, sayonara, see ya. That's what it was. We saw the Chiefs do it for Patrick Mahomes. And against the 49ers. The 49ers could have ran away with that game. But the Chiefs defense, they bit, but they didn't just completely fold. And that's what we need. This is the level of accountability. This is exactly why I haven't been like, oh, Micah needs to be quiet. Just wait till the next season starts. No. I want these guys to keep talking because eventually you're going to learn everything you need to know about each and every player on this team the more they talk. So talk. Everyone else in the world is talking now. Every player on every team is starting to talk now. Guys are getting podcasts and everything. Shit, Hankins got a podcast on our own team. Go ahead, all of y'all talk. I want to hear everything you guys got to say. Because sometimes if you listen hard enough, you'll hear the right things. And you'll know which guys are the right guys you need to be rooting for and you want to keep on your team. And which guys you'd be like, I don't know about that answer. Or I don't know about what you just said right there. And what I've been hearing from Micah so far all off season, regardless if y'all like it or not, bro, we got to let it go. We got our asses beat, bro. Let it go. Let it go. Now we need to figure out what players really are going to be a part of the solution and what players part of the problem. That's what we're figuring out now. And Micah, everything I've been hearing from him all off season has told me that he can definitely be part of the solution. So those of you guys that are in my comments or on X or, oh, we need to trade Micah. Hush. That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea, bro. It's a terrible idea. Hold on to him. He's a young dude, bro. He's still very, very young. He's just now becoming a man. Just because these dudes are athletes don't mean that they're going to become men and women faster than a normal person. That's not the case. They're just younger people with a lot more money than we did at that time. But they still have to have time to go through their growing pains, and this is why I don't want to continuously try to build with young guys in the most important positions. This is why while people are like, oh, we don't need to get Derrick Henry, he's too old. I'm like, yo, Derrick Henry wants a ring. He's hungry. He's a veteran. He knows what not to do. He knows what to do in the NFL. He knows what he's looking at on the offense. He knows what he's looking at on the defense. We need veterans in key positions because young guys are going to have to go through those growing pains. And that's just life, bro. And just because they're professional athletes doesn't mean they get to circumvent the actual course of life. But now Micah is starting to understand because he, for the first time in his career this offseason, he felt the heat too. People were on him. People were saying, trade him. People have not been feeling Micah Parsons. People didn't like the fact that he just played in the NBA All-Star game. And I'm going to be honest, the older he gets, he's going to chill out with some of that stuff because we don't need you getting injured in silly stuff like that, bro. Trayvon Diggs got injured in a non-contact practice, bro. We don't need you getting injured doing stuff like this. So I am on board with that. You got to relax with that type of thing. But this is exactly what people have been wanting to see from Micah Parsons. The people that don't mind the players living in the year 2024. This is, if you're going to talk, this is the type of talk I want to hear. I want to hear accountability. I want to hear leadership because that's what I heard right there. Calling out veterans, calling out young guys. Hey, this is unacceptable. We have to set the tone. We're supposed to be the spearhead of this team. The defense is supposed to be the star of the show. They were supposed to be the star of the show going into the season. So why are we escaping all the culpability in this? You're not just going to point it at my quarterback. And somebody needs to do that. Somebody on this team needed to take that accountability on that defense. I would have rather someone did it right after the game. But better late than never. Thank you, Micah Parsons. This was a really, 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 really nice clip to see, man. Really nice clip. Thank you again at Dak MVP, a.k.a. Martin Talk Cowboys on X. Y'all know how we end these videos now. We stand them Cowboys. But as long as dudes are thinking like this and they're willing to hold people accountable and be real about what's happening, then I think this team can go in the right direction. As long as dudes are willing to go, hey, Dak, get your shit together. We need somebody, if Dak does go into one of those moments, we need somebody to be able to look at the quarterback and be like, hey, bro, get your shit together. Micah, maybe you have to be that guy. Maybe Dak needs someone to motivate him. Maybe he needs someone to help lead him sometimes. Everyone talks about how great of a leader he is. Every now and then, even a leader needs some motivation. Maybe he needs somebody to juice. Who's juicing Dak up? That's my question. Who is juicing Dak up? Regardless if you are a leader or not, every leader has a great hype man. Who's juicing him up? Maybe Micah needs to be that guy as the leader of the defense. Maybe he needs to be that guy to go to Dak and be like, 4, get your head in it, bro. Go make some plays.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.